There's a quite interesting dynamic happening right now in the DeFi space, in the Ethereum DeFi space, and the current Glassnode Insights newsletter describes this in a few very, very interesting charts. So let's dive into those charts and let's look at what's actually currently going on. So let's begin with the gas usage on Ethereum. So the chart is being split up between DeFi and stablecoin gas usage. And in the background, we've got the Ethereum price here in black. And what we can see is that the DeFi gas usage was going up quite substantially, then somewhat peaking in Q3 of 2020, staying relatively elevated. And then since May of 2021, this went down quite a bit, mainly for DeFi, but also for the stablecoin gas usage. Now, I think the background of this might be some of those rather Ponzi scheme-like DeFi protocols. They imploded around this time. So in case you're familiar with this, there was a pretty popular DeFi protocol on Ethereum called Strongblock, and Strongblock peaked in its price in November of 2021, end of October 2021. Now, when you looked at the time at the gas usage, when you looked at the smart contracts that used most gas on Ethereum, you found Strongblock at one of the top users. It was, I think, in the top 3 or so. It was just behind OpenSea, right? The NFT marketplace. NFTs take a lot of gas. But Strongblock was quite large as well, and it then imploded, right? Ponzi schemes, at some point in time, they tend to implode because they can't grow that much, which was probably a contributor to this final decline. Now let's look at NFTs, because NFTs are also a pretty large consumption of gas on Ethereum. And the dynamics here are also pretty interesting. We see a sharp rise in the middle of 2021, then under volatility, a quite elevated level. And now we are going down quite drastically again. Now we can overlay this with the popularity of NFTs. So this is Google Trends for the search term NFT, and that peaked in January of this year. It's very interesting how these things come in cycles, and it's very interesting that the gas consumption is also pretty much in line with that. Now here's a chart where I don't have enough background knowledge. It would be interesting to get your kind of input. So OpenSea is the largest of the NFT market spaces, right? But there's also another marketplace here called LooksRare, and it peaked very, very quickly at the beginning of this year and then pretty much imploded again, now being very small, right? The overall contribution of LooksRare is pretty low. It'd be interesting to get the background around this, because this is what was able to push this all up. And maybe this was also one of the contributors why the NFT interest peaked in January of this year. Now here's something which really explains the deleveraging of DeFi, which in general is a healthy thing, right? The less leverage there is in a system, the lower the prices tend to be, the more realistic the prices tend to be. And over here, we see both in the background, again, the Ethereum price, and then the total value locked in DeFi. And we can see the Luna implosion destroyed roughly 94 billion. So this was this decline over here. But then afterwards, we got more of a decline, which was probably mainly just a price decline, right? The Ethereum token went down with the general market. More and more people tend to rather go risk off in this rising interest rate environment. So crypto prices are trending downwards, and so is then the total value locked in DeFi. This is another way to look at this. So this is the total value locked change. This chart starts at the beginning of 2021, and we can see we haven't seen these kind of drops very often. The main crash, of course, was during the Luna collapse, but now even with price decreases, we see quite a bit of a move. Now let's move over to stablecoins, because that's actually a pretty interesting dynamic. We can see that the stablecoin market cap is declining, right? More and more people exit the crypto ecosystem, but at the same time, the stablecoin dominance, so the percentage, the fraction of all of crypto being held in stablecoins, is going up. And this is interesting to see over here, right? So you have the aggregate stablecoin supply. So this is here Tether, DAI, USDC, and BUSD. And we can see the change here of that supply in red, which is going down since April of this year. So this does not include UST, right? The Terra Luna ecosystem. So even with that, we saw an expansion of stablecoin adoption, and with the current environment, the crypto market is shrinking. People are redeeming their stablecoins for fiat. That being said, when we look at the stablecoin dominance, so when we look at how much of all of crypto is locked up in stablecoins, this is at an all-time high. So this is close to 16%, meaning the risk on assets, they are declining faster in price than the redemptions of stablecoins from the system. So one way to interpret this is that there's still, in relative terms, quite a lot of money in stablecoins on the sidelines that could be, in theory, deployed for a next bull run, right? When this stablecoin dominance here is going down, it means the prices of assets, of crypto assets, tend to go up. So if you believe that this kind of a trend will continue, then we could see a reversal over here and we could see rising crypto prices. But of course, this is just TA, right? This is not fundamental analysis, but I still wanted to show all of this data because the more data we have, the more refined of a decision in the end we hopefully can make. There's a few more interesting charts to come. If you so far enjoy this content, please give this a like because it will help the channel grow. Thank you. This is the top 4 stablecoins versus the Ethereum market cap. So this is now, as said, again, Tether, DAI, USDC, and BUSD. And in black, we've got the Ethereum market cap, and in blue, we've got the stablecoin market cap. And we have now just seen again a flippening, meaning people are rather risk off. Now, this video wouldn't be complete when discussing Ethereum to talk about ETH 2.0, to talk about locking up Ethereum in order to get staking rewards. And we can see for all the ETH that had been staked for 2.0, we can measure a realized price and we can compare this to the current price. So we can see that on average, the people that have staked Ethereum are now, for the first time ever, in losses. So that's interesting, right? So you do get your APY by staking, but it's unlikely to offset the losses we see over here. The ETH 2.0 deposit realized price here in blue is currently way higher than the market price here in black. When we zoom out a little bit, so when we look at all of Ethereum's supply, so we could measure this either in tokens or in addresses. So addresses is in pink, tokens is in blue. We can see that roughly half of the supply is currently in profit. The other half is in losses. The lower this is, the better, as per tendency to find a potential bottom, because when everybody is in losses, we might see a complete capitulation. So far, we are not yet at extreme levels. We could, according to this metric, fall further for Ethereum. This is the aggregate, right? Let's split this just by the long-term holders. So this is the long-term holder net unrealized profit and losses. And we can see during an extreme deleveraging, right? So this was the 2018 crash, that even the long-term holders that had been in very large losses, there was the final capitulation over here, which then introduced the turnaround. Currently, we are not yet there. So it's very hard to time bottoms like this, right? Nobody knows if you will see these kind of low levels again. We might simply turn around, as we have also seen in 2016, but it's simply interesting in the grand scheme of things, right? If you think we can't fall below $1,000 for Ethereum, history and data suggest that there is potentially a possibility here, right? We have seen more pain in the past. We are not yet as depressed as we have seen in the past. I publish videos regularly on this channel, so feel free to subscribe. We've also got a public Telegram channel. We are more than 2,000 people over there. Simply search for Bitcoin Strategy Channel within the Telegram app. Last but not least, there is a premium membership. So in case you're looking for daily market updates, in case you want to contact me directly, there's a lot of interesting exclusive content to be found over here. Hope to see you in that video, and thanks for watching this one. Bye bye.